says inauguration. I don't know if it's the Constitution, but the law says that inauguration takes place at noon, but it happened at 11:59 a.m. So they were like, it's illegitimate election or something like that. It's brain soup. If you've talked to these people, you know they're lost, by the way. The funny thing is, like, I'm showing you Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I feel like most of you probably have a family member who acts like this. You probably have a family member who is this lost, you know? Like, if you have a conversation with them, they don't actually... I'm really trying not to be ableist here, but I know what I'm talking about. When you talk to some of these people, like, there's not really, like, a dialogue with them. Like, when you introduce information or talk with them, it's like an empty hole that it goes into, and then they respond with the thing they were always going to respond to. If you talk to these people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, conspiracism does rot the brain. And while it may not be a mental illness in the DSM to be a conspiracy theorist, the fact of the matter is that it has effectively the same, often far, far worse effects on a person's cognitive processes. In fact, no, I would stand by far, far worse. I've talked to and been friends with plenty of people who have diagnosed mental illness, and I have never met a single one of them who is even remotely as crazy as a mentally well Q-anoner. Mentally well in the clinical sense, at least. I've never met one who even came close to that. Even slightly. It's really, really unfortunate. This is like your average QAnon family member, right? Like, you can't even pull them out of it. It's like a hole. I worry about them, Vosh. I can't worry about them as long as they're such a threat to the country. If they were like a minority, if this was just like a sect of like 2,000 or 3,000 cultists or something that lived out in like fucking Idaho or something, I think that'd be unfortunate. You know, you'd have kids that grew up into it and they're kind of like groomed into believing the precepts of their cult. And like, that's really, really unfortunate. But if they're politically effective, which they are, because crazy people tend to be, unfortunately, because they're so active and energetic about getting involved in politics, it's hard for me to, yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. What is this? Yikes, Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks white people who voted for Obama are really the racists, and she also thinks 9/11 happened during Obama's presidency. Wait, what?
Let me just throw this out here. And you guys,
What is this audio from? What is this audio from? Because it doesn't correspond to the video.
I'm ripping the duct tape off of political correctness today because I've had it. I'm just done with it.
Sounds like
So
it.
I'm going to say this to all you social justice warriors, white people who voted for Barack Obama. You're really the racist, because here's what I've heard from many of you, that you all voted for Barack Obama, white people, Democrat voters, voted for Barack Obama because you felt like it was time for America to have a black president. Well, let me say this. That makes you the most racist people in this country because you voted for someone based on their skin color, which is what racism is.
Damn,
it's how you
calling
treat
you
someone,
out.
hire someone, fire someone, talk about someone, make decisions and feelings about someone based on their skin color. And that makes all of you white people who think you're so...
I'll steelman this point. I actually do think it's pretty weird and liberal id-poly to choose a candidate because of their skin color. Like, that's pretty fucking weird. However, let's be real. If John McCain had been black and Obama had been white, Democrats still would have voted for Obama. That whole it's time for a black president thing, it only really came to field because he was the better candidate. The difference here is that liberal id-pol shit is like flavoring, whereas the racist behavior of the Republicans back in 2008 and 2007 and stuff were pretty overt and pretty like deliberate, you know?
Above everyone else, that makes you actually the biggest racist there is.
True.
But we had witnessed 9/11, right? We had witnessed 9/11, the terrorist attack in New York, and the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania, and the so-called plane that crashed into the Pentagon.
Oh man, she's a 9/11 conspiracy theorist.
There's never any evidence shown for a plane in the Pentagon. But anyways, I'm not going to dive into the 9/11 conspiracy. That happened during Barack Obama's presidency.
Wow. You know, I thought this would be more ambiguous or like she would have misspoken, but no, that was as direct a statement as you can get. Yeah. Wow. It could be cut. It could be cut. Maybe the fact that there's not a video that it's attached to. Well, we'll see. Maybe she doubles down.
His presidency. Okay, but let's keep going. Let's keep talking about whatever happened. Yes, I do believe he is a Muslim.
No, see, then she immediately talks about him being a Muslim. I don't know. I mean, it could be cut. It could be cut. But do you really think that her believing 9/11 happened under Obama would be that out of whack, considering everything else she said?
Obama opens our borders. We have all these Muslim refugees coming to our country.
Wait, Muslim refugees? The refugees that come to America are generally from Central and Latin America. What?
Radical. You know what's amazing to me, people? How did this happen after 9/11? After 9/11, where we have 19 Muslims take over planes and fly them into buildings, that's what we Americans saw happen. How is it possible that fast forward 12, 15 years later, we are having a Muslim refugee invasion into our country?
Yeah, very much about what you expect. God, it's really impressive how stupid they are. When I see stuff like this, it really does vindicate my belief that like conservatism is just like the low IQ position. It's really, really incredible. Oh God, I know I fantasize about this anytime I see somebody who I'm never going to be able to debate, but holy shit, I would kill. I would murder to debate Marjorie Taylor Greene. I would fly out to DC. I would pay for every flight ticket. I would pay for every fucking hotel booking. I would pay for the security. I would pay for everything if I could debate Marjorie Taylor Greene. I would put up, not only would I pay for it, you motherfuckers would pay for it if I asked you to. I would say, hey, here's a GoFundMe. You fuckers would raise $20,000 for that. Because that would be the content of a lifetime, okay? Because unlike a lot of people, unlike somebody like Ted Cruz, you know what happened if I tried to debate Ted Cruz, okay? Ted Cruz's cuck brain, he's going to use all the sneaky tricks that he employed while he was a Zodiac killer, you know? He's going to think, I don't want to get into this. I don't want to get into that. All right, goodbye. And he would just like, scuttle out like a beetle, you know? But Marjorie Taylor Greene is crazy. Probably doesn't have a very good assessment of her own abilities. I imagine that she would be fun to talk to. Yes, Ted Cruz would ink me. He would lift up his arms, and the ink jets in his armpits would spray me and blind me, which would give him time to escape.